welcome back to another Loc Talk. Today I have my awesome client, Jasmine.
Hello.
She's going to talk about her lock journey, and thank you guys for tuning in and joining us in this Loc Talk. So, let's get to it. Y'all, it's Saturday. I'm low-key tired, but I'm trying to bring that energy for y'all. But, yes, Jasmine, tell us about your lock journey. So, you've been locked how long?
It's been 10 years now.
10 years. Awesome. Look at all this hair. You have not had a cut since then, right?
I have not.
Yep. So, it's just so much hair, y'all. This is what, and how long was your hair when you started?
I actually started with relaxed ends. I probably had about 1.5 inches of new growth or so.
Okay, an inch of new growth,
yeah.
And the rest. How long was your relaxed hair?
Probably as long as my hand. Like, wasn't very long at all. It was pretty short.
Okay. So you mentioned you started off with relaxed hair.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you maintain or manage the relaxed hair?
So after I got my Sisterlocks, I did a lot of braid outs. So it was really cute, you know. Did the braid outs and just wore it crinkly most of the time. So that was my go-to until it grew out long enough for me to cut the relaxed ends.
Okay. How long did you let it grow? How long was the natural hair or the locked hair before you cut it?
I probably let it grow out to be about maybe 12 inches or so
of your locked hair.
Of my locked hair, yeah.
And how was the relaxed ends at that point? Like, how long were you locked at that point?
It's been so long ago, it's hard to remember. I just remember cutting it off once it got to the point where the braid out style didn't look as clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
right.
Exactly. With the relaxed ends.
What did the relaxed ends look like?
Of course, with my hair frizzy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be frizzy and fuzzy, so I would still have to like curl it with a curling iron sometimes just to maintain it and have it to keep it kind of looking smooth and in order.
Okay, so you put heat in your hair.
I did.
Just on the relaxed part.
Just on the relaxed part. Right.
What was like your biggest struggle with maintaining the two different textures?
Just kind of figuring out when it was time to let go, I would say, of the other part, because the Sisterlock part was easy. Like, it was just wake up, wash, and go. But I always had to pay attention to the relaxed ends and you know what was happening with that to make sure that it wasn't frizzy and it wasn't breaking and it didn't look mess up the look, you know, that I was looking for getting locked in the first place.
Did you have bunching?
I didn't. I did not.
Okay. And it's probably because you kept it braided a lot,
Yeah, I
right?
did. I kept it braided a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you would wash it, did you braid it before shampooing it?
I did, yeah. I did. I would braid it before shampooing.
So did you do that until you cut out the relaxer?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, to do that, maintain straight hair like that.
Yeah.
Regardless if the curly part or your natural texture is locked, you still have to bundle the relaxed part at least, and you still have to braid it if you want it looking good, because if you don't with the relaxed part, you will experience bunching. It's because, you know, the hair is pulling and trying to lock, and straight hair just don't, you know, lock like that. Right. So you're gonna have that battle. So okay. So how long would you say? How many years do you think you wore the relaxed part until you decided to cut?
I don't feel like it was an extended period of time. Gosh, maybe no longer than 2 years, if that long. If that long at all.
Okay. Yeah, because I think by the time I met you, you were already like 5, 6 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
Yeah.
And your straight part was gone by then.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I just didn't, I don't know, like, I guess I could have done the big chop, but whenever I realized that I could keep some of the relaxed ends just to keep a little length, I decided to to go that route.
Okay, so you kept it mainly for the mane.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So after you've done your big chop, tell us about your lock journey then.
I just absolutely loved it. Like, best decision I ever made, because I've never been a hair person. Like, I've always had a ton of hair, but never one to like to style it, never one to like to go to the salon every week or every other week to get something done to it. So it was very freeing for me to just be able to wake up and decide if I'm just gonna shake and go, or if I'm gonna try to put a little twist here or there, or just go. Just the freedom was amazing, which is the main reason that I did it.
Okay, cool. So when you had the relaxed end, you had more maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So after you cut the relaxed ends, how did your routine change?
It was definitely a lot easier. It was easier, like I didn't necessarily have to always braid it up, you know? Like, I saved myself a lot of time from not having to do that anymore. And it was still fairly short enough at that time that I could just literally shake and go. Like, I didn't have to do anything to it if I didn't want to. So it just made my daily routine super easy with my hair. Like, literally wake up, shake and go. It's the best thing ever.
Did you had any issues from family or friends after locking your hair? Were you married then?
Yeah, it was actually my husband's idea to get Sisterlocks.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Did he see the locks on somebody else's head and thought, ooh, this will be good for you, honey?
You know, I'm not sure where he first got the idea from, but I remember one day he was just like, you should consider getting Sisterlocks. And I was like, what is that?
No way.
Pretty much. But I was like, what is Sisterlocks, right? And so then I started looking into it, and I was like, that would be awesome for me, because I am not one to like to get my hair done, because I hated it. Like, trying to maintain relaxed hair, or even like natural hair, when you're still having to go get a blowout or whatever with all this heat on your hair every other week or so just to maintain it, was awful. Like, I hated going to the salon and being there like half the whole day, and it was just awful. So he suggested that I get Sisterlocks, and I was just like, yes, let's do it. Best decision ever.
Yeah. Mind you, her husband is a barber, so he probably, being in the hair industry, he probably saw a lot of stuff. So that makes sense why he's like, honey, since you don't like to do this hair,
right,
here's an option for you.
Yeah, but like, everyone loved it. Like, in the family, like, everyone was just kind of like, I can't believe you have so much hair, and how much did that cost, and how long did it take? More questions, than anything, but everybody really, really, really liked it.
So what did your consultant say about your hair being so thick, high density?
Yeah, like, the thickness was always like, oh my God, your hair is so thick. But it locked really well, which was surprising considering that I had the relaxed ends.
Yeah, and your natural curls aren't, your curls aren't that tight.
Right.
So, and guys, with looser curls, you can expect more frizz. So, so your locks are, more likely to be frizzy when you have looser curls. Whereas if you were to have a tighter curl pattern, you would have less frizz or no frizz. So I think for you, we've groomed your hair how many times?
We did it maybe 4 times or so. Early on?
Yeah, we've groomed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
So grooming is when we literally take the strand of the lock and trim the extra hair along the side of the lock. So since all this has been groomed, you don't see as much hair. I mean, I'll do a close-up video. Y'all know I show the hair at the end, but you'll see there's less hair on the end, but if you get closer to the root, we have not groomed that area, so it's more frizzy. But is that something you think you will continue to do, or are you just going to embrace your frizz?
I have embraced my frizz, but I'm definitely down for a grooming. Grooming is very tedious, though, I know. So
it is.
It's not something.
That's each strand. Taking each strand and then just going and locking, trimming it, cutting it.
So I'll have to give you fair advance notice before we do that.
Listen, I personally like the frizz, But I'm not, if I had her hair, I probably wouldn't do a grooming, only because I have fine hair, you know, so I feel like the frizz will give me that volume that I want. Whereas for her, she already has all that volume, so she's like, I don't need no extra volume. So I'm not anti-grooming, but do I feel like it's necessary? No. But if somebody feel like I need it for my sanity, okay, I'm not gonna stop you, but I don't think it's necessary, you know. So
I've embraced it.
You're a frizz?
I have. The only thing that really bothers me is the frizzy grays that, you know, say hello to the world.
Them grays do like to make themselves known.
Yes.
I have arrived. I'm here. My grays are so disrespectful. Don't worry. I'm going to cover them up in a little bit. Because, ooh-wee. I don't like grays. Not right now, at least. When I get older, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But, alrighty. As far as your hair journey, were there any other obstacles you've encountered with your hair, or your journey's just been peaches and cream?
It's mostly been peaches and cream. Like, I feel like I was kind of lucky. Like, I didn't have many issues with like slippage or anything at the start. I never really had any issues with, you know, any tangling issues or anything like that.
With the relaxed part?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right,
no
yeah,
issues.
because you kept it braided.
Yep.
So when you do the braid outs and stuff like that, it really helps to keep the hair from bunching, tangling, and so forth. But I wanted to ask you, it was a question as you were talking, I thought about. How is it with your length now? How do you manage? Oh, this is what I wanted to, before I go into this one. With your, how did your consultant just lock the 1.5 inch of new growth and just let the straight part out? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know some people will lock the whole thing and some people will just lock the new growth. So only your new growth was locked.
Right.
Yeah, so she had to keep it braided to maintain, to keep the hair from bunching, from marrying together, from matting.
Yep.
I mean, we wanted to mat, but not like that with straight hair, you know. So, okay, cool. So my next question for you is, how do you maintain this long hair? Because me and long hair, we're not.
Woo, it's a lot of hair. I guess I would say, and kind of leading to the question, back into the question from before, I try to work out 3 to 4 days a week, and all this sweat doesn't necessarily smell so good in all of this hair. So I have to make sure that I'm really trying to, I think I wash it more now than I did before when I was working out less, just to keep the sweat smell, you know, out of the hair. Because my husband will tell me real fast, we get in the car, he said, I smell your hair. I smell your hair. But when I sleep, I have a really long lock sock.
Okay.
That I put on it.
That covers this whole thing?
It covers most of it. I think the lock sock's probably about this long.
Lock socks, y'all, if y'all don't know, it's like a tube. So it's like a long tube with both ends open.
Yep, so I wear that at night. It doesn't necessarily stay on the whole night, but the intention is for it to stay on just so that, first of all, the hair stays in one place, because otherwise then it's under my arm and it's under the pillow and I can't sleep well that way. But it also, that kind of helps with the frizz, you know, so I'm not having my hair rub against the cotton pillowcase and making my hair extra frizzy.
Have you woken up one day and your husband was on your lap and you can't move?
I have not, but I've definitely gotten it caught under my arm before and trying to roll over, and it's like, why am I not moving? It's because my hair is under my arm.
Because when I had longer hair, I think the longest my hair has been is like mid-back, and if my bonnet came off at night, because I have lock socks, but of course the lock socks, by the time my hair got that long, the lock socks was shorter than my locks. So sometimes the lock socks will slip off, and then I wake up and I'm going to get up, and my hair is under my husband's shoulder or back or something. So I'm just like, get up, you're on my hair. So I don't like to keep my hair that long because it's frustrating to me because it's always in the way. It's always, you put your clothes on, you gotta tuck it out.
Yep.
You you go to do something and it falls in your food or in whatever, in the water. It's just too much. And then when I'm at the shampoo bowl, shampooing my clients, if my hair wasn't pulled back, or if it's half pulled back, the rest is down, I go and it's like wanting to touch them, and it's not sanitary to have your hair all over people like that. So I know some people do it. That's not me, So it was just bothersome to me. So
yeah, I think I just over time I just kind of got used to it, right? Like it's a lot of hair and it's always everywhere. Like you say, like anytime you're doing something, if you don't have it tied up or pulled back, it's everywhere. Like you have to pay attention to where your hair is at all times. It's because it could end up in your food.
Or it could end up getting snatched off because you're thinking it's something else, a bug or something, and you're like,
that's happening. That is definitely happening. Most of the time, I try to keep it pulled back, for the most part, at least so that it's out of my face and not just kind of hanging out on things, because it's so long now.
How often do you style your hair, if at all?
It's very rare, and that's one thing about long hair. Like, I'm not a hair person again, so it's not a lot that I used to do when it was shorter. But with it being a lot longer now, there's less and less that I feel like I can do to it. So if I do anything, I'm just gonna put a couple of twists in the front, have it half up, half down. As far as styles go, I'm limited, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to go on YouTube and find some styles that I can do myself, but I have yet to do that. Especially when I'm working from home, like most people. So I'm not really going very many places. So now for me, it's mostly just ponytail. Pull it back, put it in a ponytail. I'm not that good at braiding. I've tried to do like a couple of braids going down, but again, it's so much hair and it's so thick. By the time I get halfway through, it's out of control and I let it go. But yeah, I'm not much for doing styles myself.
So one thing about her hair, because it's so long and thick, when it gets wet, it gets heavy, right?
So that's a question I get a lot, all the time. Is my hair heavy? But my hair is only heavy when it's wet. When it's not wet, I can't even feel it, don't notice that it's there. The only time I really notice it is when it's wet and it's really heavy.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people, because people think, oh, I can't let my sisterlocks get that long because it'll get heavy. And I'm like, no, it's not heavy at all. But when it's wet, you will feel the weight, because it's not just your hair, it's your hair in water, right? So.
Yep, that's the only time I realize it, when I'm washing my hair, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I had a lot of hair. But other than that, it's light, and that's the only time I ever really notice how much hair I have, when I can feel it when it's wet.
When you wash your hair, do you do it in the shower because of so much, or in the sink?
So much easier to do it in the shower. I have not attempted to do it in the sink yet. I just feel like that would be a lot more difficult to do, trying to lean over the sink and do it that way. So yeah, I usually only do it in the shower.
Yeah,
a lot easier that way.
Now, when you wash your hair, do you focus on your scalp and work all the way down to the tips?
Yeah.
Because some people just do their scalp and keep it moving.
No,
and I'm like, you in the shower, you might as well just do the whole.
So yeah, I focus a lot on the scalp, just because I know that's where a lot of any random residue and all that sweat from working out is there, and so I do a lot of focus there. But then I also do like work down each strand to make sure that everything's actually getting clean. I actually thought about that when I was washing my hair this morning. I was like, yep, gotta make sure I get all the way down to the bottom.
What I would encourage people with long hair is to wash your hair during the day, so it has time to dry. If you don't like sitting under a dryer, because with all this hair, her hair is long and thick, so that means her hair does not dry quickly. So if you wash it at night and you roll it up and go to bed, you might have potential mildew, the next day, because it's not dry. You're gonna wake up the next day and it won't be dry. Your hairline might be dry, but the inside of the hair won't be dry. So I always encourage people with all this hair, wash your hair during the day, where it has time to dry, so you're not, worrying about mildew later later on, especially if you're trying to do it at night. I would not recommend doing it at night. And allow time for it to dry, because with all this hair, it takes time to dry. You know, and for some of you guys, you might have long hair but thin. So if you have thin hair, it's gonna dry like that. Because my hair, I had long hair at one point, long locks, but it wasn't as thick as this. So my hair would literally dry in like 30 minutes to an hour. Whereas your hair probably takes a day or so to dry, right?
It does.
So I can't, you know, so it is different for each person. But if you have long, thick hair, make sure you shampooing your hair during the day where it can dry, because it won't dry overnight.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to think of all the questions I would probably ask or want to know about her long, luscious locks. So I think is there anything else you'd like to share about the length with your hair that some folks out there might be curious about? Someone might ask, would you ever want to cut your hair?
Yeah, well, first...
when do you know when you want to cut your hair, or how long you'll let it go before you cut it?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because I'm getting subtle hints from my significant other about when am I going to cut my hair. And I feel like when I know, I'll know. Yeah, so I think, eventually I'll cut it. Like, I'm not going to let it grow to my knees. But I really do enjoy the length. Like, I've always had a lot of hair, like even like from earliest memory of being like in kindergarten in a play and just having hair down to here. And I always enjoyed having the length, but you know, as I got older and started getting relaxers and putting all that heat and everything in my hair, like I could never get the same amount of growth. Having relaxers and having the heat and stuff, I still had long, thick hair. But it never really grew past shoulder length. Like it was like that was a stopping point. But it wasn't until, you know, I went natural and actually locked my hair that I guess the full potential of how long my hair could actually grow, you know, came out. And I enjoy the length. I think it's beautiful, you know. I like short hair too, because I've had like pixie cut short hair before. Super cute.
Yes.
Like I love short hair. But I'm enjoying the length, so I'll probably keep it at least waist length for a while.
Okay, good. You're not going to try to go past the butt, right?
No, I think...
Because I don't do people's hair when they pass their butt, because I don't know where it's been.
Ooh.
Because my fear is dealing with somebody's hair that's... Because you got to sit down on the toilet.
I never thought about that.
And if y'all not moving your hair out the way, I don't know how good you are about making sure that hair is out the way before you sit on the toilet. So I just can't. Your hair go past your butt, you can no longer be my client, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Thought about that.
I don't know. And I never thought about that until one of my clients, and he was a male client. He was like, and he just kept talking about, all right, Pauline, you're doing all these people with long locks and stuff like that. You just never know where their hair been.
Oh
mess
God.
Around cleaning somebody's poop. Oh my God. And he was just cracking jokes the entire time. But since that day, I was like, oh no, your hair go past your butt. You cannot be my cliente, okay? No. I'm like, because sometimes you might not even know that you had an accident. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you would purposely let your hair and you don't clean it before coming to me. You might not even know. And then,
no, yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna let it get that long. But I guess, I don't know, when I decide to cut it, I don't know how short I will go, because it would be cute to go back to a bob and start over and grow it back out again. But I'm not sure. But I will eventually cut it. I just don't know how drastic I'll go, or how soon it'll be when I decide to cut it.
Yeah, my first cut was a bob. And then this is my second cut, and I was like, let's go pixie.
Yeah.
And y'all see how it's already long already. I'm just like, okay.
I'll eventually do it. We'll see. And Pauline and I've had this discussion too about color. I'm afraid to do color, even though it would look so nice. It would look so nice.
So I'm gonna talk and do another. Y'all, I have a lock in color video coming up, but y'all with all this hair that want color, listen. I had a client who had hair down her butt, and she colored her hair jet black, but she used 7 tubes.
Oh my God.
7 of these to color her whole hair. And she always did it by herself because she's a cosmetologist as well. But she always did it on her own because she said, girl, if I go to the salon and get my hair colored, I'm going to be paying like almost $1,000. I said, yeah, because you got so much hair. So you use a lot of product. And even, y'all make sure, one of my clients told me recently, she's like, because her hair is getting longer. So she's like, I'm noticing I'm running out of shampoo quicker. I'm using more shampoo. I said, yeah, the longer your hair gets, the more product, the more shampoo, the more everything, you know? So she's like, Lord, I have to go get the bigger bottle of the shampoo because it's just going by quicker. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. So, alrighty. Well, anything you want to leave?
I would just say, if you decide to get Sisterlocks or any type of locks and you want to grow it out long, it's an amazing journey.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to start with a relaxer, you can. Yeah, I will do the relaxer video that I did recently, so I'll put that on there. So you guys can go back and watch that where you get more detail, more information about it. About, starting with a relaxer. Or if your hair isn't relaxed, but if you have heat damaged hair, I address that as well. So yeah, I would just say enjoy the ride. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing journey. Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone who's regret getting locks yet. I don't know anyone who's regretted it.
Me either.
All right, y'all. Thank you for joining. I will link her lock journey. It will be coming up next. So thank you for tuning in and see y'all next time. Bye.